And hello YouTube, GSmaniamsmart here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the July 11th patch that was released this Tuesday, and take a look at Living World Season 3 Episode 6 coming July 25th. We did get a blog post and a new image as well. Hey everybody, GSmaniamsmart here, today with another brand new video for Gaming with GS. Thanks for stopping by, glad to have you for another video. If you happen to be new to the channel, new to my videos, I encourage you to subscribe. Plenty of other Guild Wars 2 videos, news videos, gameplay videos, gold guides, all kinds of cool stuff. So if you're interested in Guild Wars 2 or gaming, go and hit that subscribe button as well as that post notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the most recent videos. So yes, it's been a while since I made a video, and the main reason is because I had 2 videos planned that got ruined. I've also been really busy with work. Things are going really smoothly with my other job, and I'm really enjoying it. So I recently got promoted to the lead video editor / project manager for the marketing agency that I work at, and it's a lot of fun. So I've been doing a lot there. But recently, I wanted to try Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. I had 2 videos recorded, and they were planned to be released last week. And then while I sat down, started editing, I noticed that my footage was really choppy and kind of laggy. I'm not sure why, because in-game it ran perfectly smooth. But then when I look at the OBS recording, it looked terrible. So I did not want to put something on my channel that wasn't my best quality of work. I was gonna try to like substitute the footage with like trailer footage and a bit of footage from other people playing, but I felt like that's kind of stupid too. I didn't want to do that, so that wasted a ton of my time, and that also kind of got me salty, and I just really had it, so I didn't feel like creating a video that week. But luckily this week, Tuesday, a new patch released. We have a good amount of stuff to talk about in that patch, mainly War vs. War related, and we got a new teaser image for Episode 6 Living World Season 3, which is coming July 25th. We'll talk about all of that in today's video. I'll start off with a few things about the patch that was released this Tuesday. It's been a while since we've had any Guild Wars 2 news as well, which is another reason why I haven't really made any videos recently either. There's been a lot of disconnects and server crashes and issues with connections to the ArenaNet servers in the past 2 weeks. Now, it does seem like the patch on July 6th, I believe it was, which was last week, for the better part of the past week, that's been resolved. But we did have a lot of server issues last week and the week prior to that, which is very unlike ArenaNet, because usually ArenaNet doesn't have a problem with server issues that much. Now, the small patch that we did get this Tuesday addressed a lot of the World vs. World issues that came about with the new reward system that they implemented last month. Now, in general, and I guess this is sort of a quick little review, I never did give my review of the system. I thought patch that we got last month, part of the competitive feature pack for World vs. World, was great. It really incentivized a lot of people to play, including myself, and a lot of people who never even wanted to try World vs. World. It brought them into that game mode, which is fantastic. The only problem that I've always seen in this new system was that people took advantage of the outnumbered debuff. Yeah, funny. People actually want to get a debuff. Now, what they did was that if you were outnumbered, you would get 5 extra pips, which was great because if you were playing on a map for, the entire time and you felt like you didn't get much done, or you felt like you got killed a bunch of times, it was kind of discouraging to keep on playing. But if you got the 5 outnumbered pips, then you would have gotten sort of compensated for that. Now, one of the ideas a lot of people had was to lower the amount of pips that you would get. Another idea was that maybe you should only allow those 5 pips to be earned if you're on the map for the entire time, for the whole match, or for the whole tick. And it seems like ArenaNet has listened to that, and they fixed it so that now you only get those 5 pips. You still get 5 pips. You still get the outnumbered debuff, but you're only rewarded with those 5 pips if you stay on that map the entire time for that tick period. So for that full 5 minutes. So you can no longer map hop, with a minute to go or 30 seconds to go. A lot of people would then map hop and see which map has the outnumbered debuff, and they'll stay on there for the timer to go to 0, and they'll get the outnumbered pips. Even though they never played on the map, they still got the outnumbered pips because they queued into that map and they just happened to be there when the outnumbered debuff was active on the map. So that problem has been resolved, which is great because that was one of the biggest problems in the entire system. People were playing to get outnumbered, which in the end didn't really, have any healthy War vs. World gameplay, because if you were outnumbered, you weren't really doing anything in your board lane. You were just standing there and wasting time waiting for the timer to go to 0. The other big problem that they addressed, which I don't think they addressed properly, is that the Decay Timer was really long originally, which was fine, but a lot of people then took advantage of that. If they got really high participation, tier 5, tier 6 participation, once they got that, they would stand around for half an hour or even longer, maybe, like next to a keep maybe, and every time the timer went down to 0, they would AFK, farm their pips, and then when they started to get decay a little bit, they'll repair like a wall or something, where every tick they would repair a wall or maybe destroy some siege or whatnot, do something very small that would, keep their participation active, and it wouldn't seem as if they're doing nothing. But that also encouraged unhealthy gameplay because people would just then do minor things and stand around for the majority of the time once they have high participation and just farm those pips. So that was a problem as well, that the decay timer was far too long and it wasn't checking enough parameters for you to actually keep that decay timer away from your character. So what they did, which a lot of people are questioning now, is that they reduced the amount of time for that decay to start kicking in. And they reduced it so much now that it's discouraging a lot of good War vs. World gameplay that now people aren't doing as much. And it's encouraging a lot of that same gameplay that people were doing just to keep their participation active. For example, some people would really just, destroy random siege to keep their participation active. They would kill random guards to keep participation active. Well, now people are doing the exact same thing. They're doing the exact same, sometimes useless gameplay that isn't very helpful just to keep their participation active. So it hasn't really fixed the issue at all. In fact, it's made a lot of people annoyed. Switching Borderlands can now even take a long time, so that can decrease your participation. If you're traveling through the desert Borderlands, that map is really big, so if you're traversing that map, by the time you get to your destination, you probably will have decay already on your character and participation already, so that's discouraging now. Going back to a keep and helping with siege, by the time you get there, that'll probably also have your decay already in your character, and your participation will be lowered also then. And even one of the core elements that you basically have to do in a lot of situations when you're capturing objectives, there's an RI timer. If an NPC has RI on them, that's a buff where they can't be attacked, they're invincible. If that objective has maybe a minute or a 30-second RI timer, and you just stand there because you're waiting for the timer to go down so you can capture that objective, you'll basically be penalized because you're not being active. So even waiting for objectives or waiting for the people on your catapults, on your siege to destroy walls is now penalizing you as well. So this idea of reducing the decay time was fine, it was a good idea, but they've reduced it so much now that a lot of normal War vs. World gameplay is being penalized, which isn't what needed to be done. So a lot of these decisions really need a lot more balance and a lot more testing, because the exact same thing happened with PvP Season 6. It seems like PvP Season 6, the reward structure was really well done. A lot of people played PvP Season 6. It was an amazing system, but then the next patch, they basically screwed it up because the rewards were nerfed so heavily that no one wanted to play PvP anymore. Now we're in that same situation with War vs. World. The reward system was so great and everything was fine with just a few minor flaws, and it's always those few minor flaws that they then try to fix and then create other huge problems. With War vs. World, it was a great system, a few minor flaws, they tried to fix the decay timer, and now a bunch of other problems came about and people stopped playing War vs. World again. So it seems like a lot of times they take a step forward, but then try to fix something that's just a minor flaw, and then they take 2 steps back, and it's a huge mess. And I'm hoping they can fix this very soon. I hope it's a quick fix. Maybe we'll get a hot fix in a few days from now, in a couple of days from now, and that'll fix that issue, because the decay timer is far too low for anyone to play World vs. World normally how it should be played. And while we're at it reviewing those patch notes, we might as well review the other World vs. World patch notes. They've now added 3 new commander icons, and those look really cool. I mean, the fact that they're adding new colors constantly is really awesome because I just love having all these different colors for my commander tag. But it's also great because sometimes you do have a lot of commanders in the map, and you know, people do take up all the colors. So now we have 3 additional colors. So you should see some of that footage on screen right now if you want to see all the colors that we currently have. And that's great for organization. That's great for people having more choices and picking a color they like. And in general, it's great to see that they're constantly updating these systems that they had put into Heart of Thorns, and now they're constantly adding to it. So that's nice to see. So hopefully we get some, you know, guild hall improvements soon too, because we haven't gotten, you know, new guild hall stuff for a long time now either. They've also added a consume all option for badges of honors, and now the queue numbers will now be displayed for all maps, including the one that you are currently in. So if you go to the World vs. World panel, you can actually see how many people are in queue, and there will now be a check mark next to the map that you are in currently as well. A few other general patch notes: they're still trying to fix the leather situation, it seems like. They're not fixing it in the way that I would like them to fix it. They're not fixing it in the way that a lot of people would like them to fix it. Instead, they have significantly increased the chance of bloodstone warped hides to be salvaged into hardened leather, which I guess is a great effort. I'm not going to complain about that. I'll have to see, you know, how much hardened leather we get from it now. Maybe it's a lot more profitable, and maybe it's a lot more, maybe you get a lot more yield out of it. But we'll have to see how that affects the leather market. Daily automated tournaments have also had their rewards increased, and monthly automated tournaments, the first place team will no longer receive a reward track potion. Instead, the first place team will receive a unique gizmo that will enhance the user with a special effect, which is really cool because I felt like getting a reward potion for, you know, a monthly automated tournament winner was kind of lame a bit. So a new gizmo that's exclusive to that monthly tournament that will give you a special effect will show that you were one of those winners in the monthly tournament, even after those statues get replaced, even after you're past the special area in the PvP lobby. Even after that expires, you still have some type of visual representation for the fact that you were one of those winners. You obviously do get the title, but if you don't like the title, then you do have another option here to have this gizmo, which I think is really cool. It also looks like they've improved and updated the gem store, which I am happy because the gem store was always something that was really laggy and clunky, and it just felt weird searching through. It was kind of slow always. So they've now improved it. They have a faster interface for smooth and speedy experience, which is exactly what I needed. They've enhanced the search function for making it easier to locate the bar and search within categories. They've improved categories and sorting. They've expanded the preview options because a lot of times when you wanted to try new gliders or weapons or finishers or mail carriers, you really couldn't see them because you had to see them in your hero panel, which is kind of weird too. So that's been fixed now. And they now have better package information for all the items that they have. So if you're trying to purchase a bundle or some type of package, they'll now actually have more detailed descriptions and information about that bundle or package that you're buying. So overall, I think it's a great change. I'm glad that they're consistently updating their current systems, which is exactly what a game should be doing. You know, trying to innovate, trying to improve, trying to better the systems that they currently have, which is great to see. So I'm really happy about the Gem Store update. I really like that. And obviously with the Gem Store update, they'll have a bunch of new Gem Store stuff. A ton of exosuit stuff is in the Gem Store for sale. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. Plenty of other stuff on a gem store that you could check out as well. I'm not going to run through the list because then a lot of people aren't really interested in that. And the last bit of news that we have, which is probably the biggest piece of news, I wanted to save to the end because I wasn't sure how long I'm going to ramble on about it. I wanted to get the patch notes out of the way. But as I had predicted a while ago, July 25th will be the day that we get the next map and the next episode. Well, July 25th it is. We will get Living World Season 3, Episode 6. There has been no name for the episode released yet. There's been no map or no teaser trailer, no type of footage, no screenshots or anything released. All we got is one simple image. And well, a lot of speculation could be made about this one simple image. And I'm sure some people already have started their speculation. We do see some type of boat or some type of sailboat here. So we might be sailing to a new area that we've never been to. This really resonates with Orr though, because the only time I can ever really remember sailing, or that had something to do with ships and boats, is in the Straits of Devastation, is in Orr, is when we were fighting the first Elder Dragon. And that's what comes to my head, and I feel like that's where we're going to be going. Even the picture looks very Orrian with this dark greenish type of look to it. But what makes this even more sort of accurate that we might be going to Orr is because that shaman, which is one of the people that does a lot of data mining, if you don't know, has actually recently found out that a lot of the Orrian assets have actually been updated. A lot of hints have also been thrown out by ArenaNet over the course of the last month, maybe even so, that he's picked up on. Also a possible new area for the map that he speculated on. We'll go through the Imgur album in just a second. I'll probably throw some stuff up on screen as I talk about it. I won't go through everything, but you can see the link in the description to the Imgur album that shaman has compiled together with all the type of hints that he's thrown out there, or that Arena has thrown out there, and all the assets that have been released. But if you remember, for the Head of the Snake, we got a new Crichton map, and well, previously to that, all the Crichton assets got updates. Before we got Bitterfrost Frontier, a lot of the Shiver Peak assets got an update. So it's no surprise that if we are going to an Orrian map in Orr, well, it's pretty accurate because prior to the patch, all the Orr assets have been updated as well. So this is a really cool place to go to because we haven't ever really gone to Orr. In fact, the only time we've ever really gone back to Orr was in this new current event style quest where we had to basically travel through time and get Khalid Bol. And there was this really cool current event where we were able to talk to Traherne again. So that was the only time we really ever went back to Orr. Since then, I don't think we've ever been there anymore. A lot of people really haven't gone back there unless you're doing Elder Wood farming, unless you're farming some of the events there, or doing some of the map completion or the map rewards every now and then for some of the lucrative rewards there. Most players haven't really gone back there, and we haven't gotten a new map for that area either. In fact, I was thinking we might get a new map in Ascalon, because Ascalon we haven't been to at all in this Living World season. But hey, we haven't even been to Orr for a long time either. So I'm really happy that we might be going to Orr. If we do go there, I'm really excited because we haven't been in that area for a long time. I'm really excited to see the new assets that they've updated. I'm really excited to see what type of map they bring in there. The Orr maps have always been kind of big and very unique, so who knows what we'll get. Maybe we'll get a modern day Orr, because if you think about it, remember, Orr in the old days, basically before the first Elder Dragon was killed, if you look at it lore-wise, Orr was always in ruins, basically. And a lot of people have always been wondering and asking ArenaNet, will we get a Orr that is now basically new? In the personal story, Traherne does restore Orr somewhat, so we never really got that type of experience in a new map. People have thrown the idea out there that maybe they want to have two instances of map, or one is restored Orr, one is, ancient Orr. But that's always a problem as well, because then you have players being separated and things get a bit more complicated in the code and in the game engine even. So a new type of instance of the map, or a new Orr map, has always been something that people wanted, but maybe we'll now get a restored Orr. Who knows? I'm not really sure. Just one type of speculation that I have. It would be nice to see that, but then again, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to keep the same style, because it would be kind of weird to have just another Orr map thrown in that area where Orr is, and it'd be completely different and restored while everything else is still in ruins. So that'd be kind of weird. However, in the Imgur album that shaman has compiled, there is one screenshot that he actually marks, and he thinks where the new map would be, which is actually right under the Straits of Devastation and to the right of the Cursed Shore. So that's actually really interesting. There's also supposedly a secret room underneath the statue of Balthazar that he discovered in the Straits of Devastation, I believe. So it does look like, if his prediction here is correct, and that map looks like it could fit really nicely in that little square that he's marked up here that you'll see on screen, we could be going to that map if we go there. That actually looks like a really cool map to be in also, because you see we have some water there. We have some land there. We might have some type of underwater content that'd be really interesting. Or maybe they'll do something like in Bitterfrost Frontier again where they'll make it ice or something like that. Or maybe even in Lake Doric where they transformed a lot of the water into basically water that was drained. So they might change the map, but this would be a great place to have the map. Maybe we could get one of the smaller maps, which is east of the Cursed Shore and underneath Malcor's Leap, but I feel like that map's a bit too small. Maybe a Guild Hall could fit in there. That would be a really cool idea. Or we could be going to a map that is directly southeast of the Cursed Shore, which you see in this little orangish square that's in the bottom of this picture. So several different places we could be going to, or any of the places that we go to, I'd be happy to visit. We can finally expand those map borders as well, and it'd be really cool to see how this new map looks. A lot of other cool little hints that ArenaNet has dropped in themselves. If you look at one of the guild chats that they had a Straits of Devastation picture in the background. Maybe that was supposed to be a hint that we're going to Orr in the future. That's something that he picked up on. The Orient translator has also been updated, so maybe that was supposed to be a hint that we'll be going to Orr. And you'll see a lot of these assets that are on screen now have also been updated, and all of these are Orient assets. So it'll be no surprise if we go to Orr, and I'd be very happy to go there. Hopefully you guys are excited as I am to go there, and I'm really looking forward to see what's in store. Like I said, plenty of other screenshots and hints that he's compiled here together, so if you want to check out the full album, the full Imgur album with all the cool stuff here, you can go ahead and click the link in the description. You'll see a lot of stuff that he's compiled here together, including posts that he's made on Twitter, and a lot of other hints and speculation that seem to be very accurate that will be going to Orr. So excited to see what's going to be happening. We should be getting a trailer for this next week. They usually release a trailer a week prior to the release, so be prepared next Tuesday, maybe next Wednesday, maybe even as early as next Monday, but most likely next Tuesday we will have a trailer, and I will be creating a video around that, so be prepared for that. Also be aware that the expansion will be coming right after the Living World Season 3 Episode 6, so it does look like we'll be getting this expansion sometime in the third quarter of the year, sometime around fall. Excited for that as well, and I can't wait to see how this Living World Season 3 will end. I'm hoping it's a spectacular end, because we really do need that to head in strong for this next expansion. So that pretty much covers everything I wanted to cover in this video. Thank you for those of you who are continuously watching my content, even though the uploads might be a bit sporadic or we might have some huge gaps in between some uploads, so I really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. You know, as new content for Guild Wars 2 comes out, we'll have more videos around it. When the expansion comes out, we'll have a ton of videos around that, so if you're interested in Guild Wars 2, interested in the news, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm usually one of the first ones to get the news out there, unless Wooden Potatoes beats me to it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. You want to talk about anything, you're excited about anything, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and we can have a little chat there. A lot of people are excited for this. Go ahead and leave a like on the video if you liked the video. And if you want to check out my most recent video, click the annotation here. Want to check out similar videos to this one, click the annotation here. If you want to subscribe to my other channels or this one, go ahead and click the annotation here. And if you want to donate $1 to my Patreon page, you can click the annotation here. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching as always. This is GSmaniamsmart. I'll be back. So when you think, don't go anywhere.